Lali Mohammed here from Deviant Productions. We come to you this morning from the newly renovated 519 Community Centre located in the Church and Wellesley neighbourhood in downtown Toronto. A press conference is being held by Dr. Alan Lee and Jane Farrow, Pride Toronto's choice for Grand Marshal and Honoured Dyke. In the spirit of freedom of expression, freedom of association, diversity, and the plurality of opinions, political or otherwise, Jane Farrow, Dr. Alan Lee, and 20 other current and former Grand Marshals, International Marshals, and award recipients gathered today to return their awards in response to the censorship.
We have gathered today to present the 2010 Shane Award to Pride Toronto in protest against their decision to effectively ban the queer human rights group Queers Against Israeli Apartheid from marching in the parade.
I just really wanted to put those things. So Pride in the past has been about anti-meat, anti-NAFTA, anti-fur, anti-Catholic. It could be lots of things to lots of people. That is the history. It is messy, it is ugly, and it is full of free speech. And that's the Pride that I want and want to continue.
I do not see how commenting on the policies of any government makes it against its people or those with ties to those countries. In fact, in Canada, our Charter of Rights and Freedoms guarantees our rights to express our political opinion freely.
In 2009, I was nominated for the Grand Marshal. As a result of speaking at a choir event, there were certain groups that tried to have me removed as an anti-Semite. They didn't succeed. In fact, it filled the ranks of choir both at the Dyke March and at the Pride Parade. But they didn't learn, did they? And that's why we're here today. Because you can't silence people and you can't silence queers.
So what does Tracy Sandilands think the purpose of Pride is? Well, quote, so the queer community has a chance to celebrate its vibrancy. I respectfully disagree with this view. Being gay, lesbian, transgendered, or simply queer is political. It always has been and will be for some time, I expect.
Free speech and self-determination are at the core of who we are and allow us to be here marching in solidarity every year. And I would say this is not a parade, this is a march. And I would echo Sky's sentiments, this is a march about sex and who we fuck.
We in Kwaya use the term apartheid carefully and accurately, recognizing the historical continuum that links Canada to Israel and implicates us all. Particularly this week, when the world is expressing its shock and outrage at the killing of 9 activists on the Gaza flotilla. Proud to be a queer against Israeli apartheid.
And it is a use of a term, Israeli apartheid, that continues to offend me, but has led me to conversations about Israel, about Palestine, and the Middle East, conversations which have helped me to become a more informed and engaged liberal Zionist. I do this with the hope that generations of young people like myself will continue to be offended. That generations of young people will continue to grow, learn, and discuss difficult ideas and issues. I am returning my award today in protest of Pride Toronto's decision to ban the words Israeli apartheid.
Proud to join other individuals and groups in this act of solidarity.
I decided to return my award.
It saddens us greatly to have to return this award.
I am returning my award.
I'm proud to be rejecting my honor from Pride Toronto.
I must regretfully hand back my honor.
Let's follow the community as current and past Grand Marshals, Honoured Dykes, walk towards the Pride Toronto's offices.
We live in a free world. I whistle down the wind, carry on smiling, and the world will smile with you. Life is a flower, so precious in your hand. Pride! Pride! Pride!
seems as Pride Toronto has called the police a further step in censoring queer and trans bodies.
Limiting political speech does not make it safe for anyone. And we really encourage the Pride Committee of Toronto to sit down with the community, who are now speaking in very big and very powerful voices, that this is not the way they want to continue with Pride festivities.
As a proud liberal Zionist, what kind of message do you think this sends out to Pride Toronto with regards to the plurality of opinions in the community?
Well, I think it's important to point out, it's very easy for people to point to us and say this is a fringe group or a leftist group that's not connected to the reality of Pride.
We hope that what they'll see this to mean is that leaders from across the city, across the country, and across international borders are saying we will not accept this kind of decision making.
What are your thoughts on the assertion that members of the queer community feel uncomfortable or not included because of the words Israeli apartheid?
I think it's rhetoric. I think they're playing against something that's obviously not evident. From today's press conference, we can see where community members stand.
Get out, stand out. We'll never give up the fight. No, no, never give up the fight.
I'm not a supporter of Queers Against Israeli Apartheid. I never have been. I think that they use extreme language to incite anger and that there are better ways to have the conversation. That said, I think they have every right to do that, and that's an intrinsic part of how we do a democratic society here.
The other challenge I think Pride is facing, obviously because the International Grand Marshals have stepped down, shows that I think Toronto, by extension, and also Pride Toronto, is not able to deal with various geopolitical conversations.
It's obvious the issue has grown beyond the local scene, as International Grand Marshals are now also returning their awards. So where does Pride Toronto fit in all of this? Well, the doors were locked, and rather than being greeted by Pride personnel, the community was greeted by the police. The community wonders, why is Pride Toronto afraid of dialogue? Here's hoping the next time the community comes knocking, the doors will be unlocked. In solidarity, this is Lali Mohammed of Deviant Productions.